Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Auto Expert, where we dive deep into automotive history, technology, and innovation. Today, we're traveling back nearly a century to 1928, a fascinating time in the world of automobiles. It was an era of elegance, craftsmanship, and engineering brilliance. The 1920s saw rapid advancements in car manufacturing, and by 1928, the industry was booming with legendary models that are still admired today. In this episode, we'll explore the legacy of the 1928 vintage car, its design, performance, and cultural impact. Whether you're a classic car enthusiast, a history buff, or simply curious about early automotive innovations, this journey into the past will give you a newfound appreciation for the cars that paved the way for modern vehicles. Let's start by setting the stage for what the world was like in 1928 and how the automobile industry was evolving. The late 1920s were a golden age for the automobile industry. By this time, cars were no longer a luxury reserved for the wealthy elite. Thanks to mass production techniques pioneered by Henry Ford, automobiles had become more affordable and accessible to the average person. In 1928, Ford was still dominating the market with the Model A, which replaced the legendary Model T. Meanwhile, luxury automakers like Cadillac, Packard, and Duesenberg were pushing the boundaries of performance and elegance. European manufacturers such as Bugatti and Mercedes-Benz were also making significant strides, introducing some of the most iconic cars of the era. This was a time when car design was evolving from the boxy, utilitarian look of the early 1900s to more streamlined and stylish aesthetics. Innovations in suspension, braking systems, and engine performance were making cars safer and more comfortable to drive. But beyond the technology, cars were becoming a symbol of freedom and status. Owning an automobile meant mobility, independence, and, for some, a touch of luxury. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the most remarkable cars that defined 1928. One of the most significant releases of 1928 was the Ford Model A replacing the aging Model T. The Model A was a game-changer. It featured a modernized design, a more powerful 3.3 four-cylinder engine, and an improved transmission with conventional clutch operation as something the Model T lacked. With a top speed of around 65 miles per hour, the Model A was faster and more refined than its predecessor. It came in various body styles, including roadsters, coupes, and sedans, offering buyers more options than never before. The Model A wasn't just about affordability, it was also stylish, with elegant curves, a distinctive grille, and a variety of colors. Unlike the strictly black Model T, Ford had learned that customers wanted choices, and the Model A delivered. If you wanted something more luxurious in 1928, the Cadillac Series 341 was an excellent choice. Cadillac was already known for innovation, and this model continued the tradition with a powerful V8 engine producing around 90 horsepower. The Series 341 featured a beautifully crafted body with Art Deco influences, a hallmark of late 1920s luxury cars. It had an advanced suspension system for a smoother ride and an automatic lubrication system, which was a cutting-edge feature at the time. This was the kind of car that wealthy businessmen, celebrities, and high society members would have driven, a true statement of prestige and elegance. For those who wanted the absolute best in performance and luxury, the Duesenberg Model J was the ultimate automobile of 1928. It was introduced as one of the most powerful cars of its time, boasting a 6.9-liter straight-eight engine with up to 265 horsepower, an incredible figure for the era. The Duesenberg was hand-built, incredibly expensive, and offered unparalleled craftsmanship. It was the car of choice for the rich and famous, from Hollywood stars to royalty. Driving a Duesenberg wasn't just about getting from point A to point B, it was about making an entrance. Meanwhile, in Europe, Mercedes-Benz was making history with the SSK, a high-performance sports car designed by the legendary Ferdinand Porsche. With a supercharged 7.1 liters engine producing up to 300 horsepower, the SSK was a beast on the road and the racetrack. It was one of the fastest cars of its time, capable of reaching speeds over 120 miles per hour. The SSK was built for speed and agility, with a short wheelbase for better handling. It became an icon of early motorsports, dominating races in the late 1920s and early 1930s. The 1928 vintage cars weren't just about aesthetics, they were marvels of engineering. Let's break down some of the key innovations that set them apart. 1. Engine advancements. By 1928, engines had become more powerful and reliable. Four-cylinder engines like those in the Ford Model A were common in affordable cars, while six-cylinder and V8 engines were becoming more prevalent in luxury and performance models. One of the major breakthroughs was the use of forced induction. A Mercedes-Benz's supercharged engines were a prime example, significantly increasing power output and efficiency. Braking technology was also improving. While many cars still used mechanical drum brakes, hydraulic brakes were beginning to appear in higher-end models, offering better stopping power and safety. Cadillac was one of the pioneers in adopting four-wheel brakes, a crucial advancement that made driving much safer at higher speeds. 3. Suspension and ride comfort. Early 1920s cars had stiff suspensions, making for a rough ride. But by 1928, manufacturers were refining leaf spring and coil spring suspensions to improve comfort. Some luxury cars even introduced adjustable suspension systems, a precursor to the modern adaptive suspension technology we see today. 4. Transmission and driving experience. The 3-speed manual gearbox was the standard in most cars, but shifting mechanisms were improving. Synchro-mesh transmissions, which allowed for smoother gear changes, were just around the corner. Driving a car in 1928 was still a hands-on experience, requiring skill and coordination, but it was becoming more refined compared to the early 1900s. Beyond their engineering, vintage cars of 1928 played a significant role in shaping culture and society. Symbol of status and luxury. Owning a car in 1928 wasn't just about convenience, it was about status. A Duesenberg or a Cadillac meant you had made it in life. Even the Ford Model A, though affordable, signified progress and modernity. The rise of road trips. As cars became more reliable and roads improved, road trips became a popular pastime. Families could now travel longer distances for leisure, fueling the rise of tourism and roadside businesses like motels and diners. Influence on pop culture. Classic cars from this era appeared in films, literature, and advertisements, cementing their place in history. Even today, 1928 vintage cars remain a favorite among collectors and restoration enthusiasts. The cars of 1928 represent a pivotal moment in automotive history. They blended elegance, power, and innovation in a way that continues to captivate car lovers nearly a century later. Whether it was the practical Ford Model A, the luxurious Cadillac, the high-performance Duesenberg, or the race-bred Mercedes-Benz SSK, each of these vehicles played a crucial role in shaping the future of the automobile industry. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this deep dive into 1928 vintage cars, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let us know in the comments which classic car from 1928 is your favorite. Until next time, keep exploring the world of automobiles and appreciating the craftsmanship of the past. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel Auto Expert.